As we continue our undrafted series, I'm telling you, man, the deeper and deeper I go into these guys, these undrafted rookie free agents are very intriguing. Some of them, like I said in yesterday's video, you really start to root for these guys and see how they could be on this team. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Detroit Lions have almost 100 people on the roster as of now, and we've got to get that down to 90 again, and then get that down to 53 to go into the NFL season. We do have some practice squad spots available as well. And unfortunately, some people will be cut. We've seen it from Hard Knocks when it was just tough to get down to 53, but we got to do it. That's just how it goes. But an intriguing prospect that the Detroit Lions signed in free agency is defensive tackle Cory Durden. Now, the Detroit Lions did give him $40,000 guaranteed, and it's going to be intriguing because we didn't do a lot as far as defensive tackle in the draft. We did draft one. We moved up to get this guy that Brad Holmes said on the works yesterday with Dan Miller, that this guy is a project. What you'll notice from Brad Holmes is that he drafts a lot for the future. He doesn't necessarily draft for the now. He drafts for the future. And while our third-round pick, Mr. Martin, will be a project, he's won the upside, which is another word that Brad Holmes used, is tremendous. And they're hoping that he can equal his upside and then be a piece for the Detroit Lions for a long time. But let's take a look at Cory Durden's stats going into as far as his draft profile. Now, according to NFLDraftBuzz.com, his overall ranking is 73 out of 100. He's in the 44th percentile when it comes to tackling, 65% pass rush, and run defense, 64. Now, the thing about highlights is, and why watching film is much better, highlights are going to show you all the good stuff that they do. The highlights that I've seen of this guy, he's a little smaller, but he likes to throw people off. He will tend to like just chuck you to the side if he can do that. He swims a little bit, use the swim move, but you have to really look at the film in order to really break down Cory's real film and his upside when it comes to his potential with the NFL and the Detroit Lions. But let's take a look at his strengths and weaknesses like we usually do. Scouting report strengths: tall, solid frame with adequate length, and has done a nice job losing the bad weight and firming his body. Well, that's always good. I think I could lose some bad weight as well. Durden has a wide base and a low center of gravity and holds his ground, as well as the upper body strength to shed blockers. He's extremely thick through the lower body, and Durden uses his natural leverage to win at the point of attack, often requiring a double team. I saw that with the highlights as well. Provides some secondary interior pass rush, getting most penetration when playing 3 technique. Good strength and balance to sit down, lock out, and create a pile, leading to possibilities inside and out in the 3-4. Now, the Lions play a 4-3, but we play a hybrid of something as well. Quick first step and fluid movements off the ball, highly competitive and fierce, showing relentless effort to the pocket with a non-stop motor. And we know that those words there, non-stop motor, is really high when it comes to what making the Detroit Lions roster. Sometimes that motor can outweigh your talent when it comes to Dan Campbell. Now, for his weaknesses, Durden struggles with leverage off the snap and plays too tall, limiting his effectiveness as a pass rusher. He's stiff as an athlete, as Durden lacks the flexibility to truly threaten the edge. Sees the ball well, but is stuck on blocks when head up. Does not shed to make plays often enough. And that's what I was saying about the highlights. On the highlights that you watch of this guy, he sheds a lot of plays, but it's typically just throwing you to the left or right and then rushing toward the quarterback or the runner. But according to this weakness here, he cannot shed, offensive linemen well to make plays. So again, it would be something you need to go deeper into his tape to find out. And if you do that, that would be fantastic. But when it comes to his possibility making the team, this is kind of tough, man, because you want to see these guys, and on paper they seem like that they could be legit, legit possibilities to make the team. But then when it's all said and done, someone was better than them. Now, the curious thing is I don't really know how many defensive tackles we have on the team. I probably should have pulled that information up before. Maybe I can pull it up very quickly. I know Levi Onwuzurike and then the Mr. Martin that we just drafted to see, but I don't know it. Like you said, he's more of a project than anything else. So let me see if I can pull that up. Our defensive tackle positions are, as of right now, they just group them all together. So Josh Pascal is a DT, Levi Onwuzurike is a DT, Benito Jones, Aleem McNeil, John Kaminsky, Isaiah Buggs. Isaiah Buggs in rotation. Benito, he might not even make the team. Levi may not make the team. And Broderick Martin, I don't know. Again, these guys, you have practice squad guys. And if the entire roster, the entire draft class make the roster, then I would expect most of the practice squad to be made up with undrafted free agents. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, the Lions are big on upside and depth. So there is a possibility this guy can make the team. But again, the highlights only show one thing. Would have to dive deeper into his film to see the strengths and weaknesses in action and see just what you would think of him. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Cory Durden? Have you seen him play? Have you seen any film on him that you would make your decision as to whether or not he would make the team? But again, I am rooting for, I know all of these guys cannot make the team. We saw Khalil Pimpleton not make it, and it was a crucial, but they'll have the preseason to show. If they make it that far, they will have the preseason to show what they can do, and that's when most of the damage will be made and the decision will be made as to who's going to make this roster. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. Thank you for supporting Detroit Lions Syndicate, and as always, go Lions.